Hey guys, good morning. Welcome back to our channel, the Eaton Squad. My name is Addie. So for today's video is the complete guidelines for the new testing and quarantine protocols to the Philippines to all permitted travelers that will start today, December 3, 2021. So in this video, we have the latest and newest testing and quarantine protocols for fully vaccinated and unvaccinated permitted travelers to the Philippines. Details coming right up.
Behind closed doors, I'm a fool for your love.
So like I mentioned on my previous video last night, when this announcement was posted by Secretary Karlo Nograles, so we made a video right away to give you guys a heads up. And today we have the complete guidelines for fully vaccinated and unvaccinated permitted travelers to the Philippines on how many days your quarantine is if you are fully vaccinated and how many days your quarantine is if you are unvaccinated. Please don't misunderstood the context. Just because they did not specify what type of travelers can enter the Philippines, I wanted to remind everybody that we are back on the general travel restrictions, meaning Filipinos, former Filipinos or balikbayans, and foreign nationals with valid and existing visas are the only allowed travelers to the Philippines right now. Unfortunately, for foreign tourists, this is suspended at the moment, and there is no announcement yet when will this resume. So I will be showing you guys my screen on the latest testing and quarantine protocols for permitted travelers, whether you are fully vaccinated or unvaccinated. So flashed on your screens right now is the latest testing and quarantine protocols announced by Secretary Karlo Nograles today. From the IATF, Cabinet Secretary Karlo Nograles, acting spokesperson, December 2, 2021. So last night, when this was announced, it was just really an announcement that the protocols will change, that the testing and quarantine protocols will change starting December 3. So there was a follow-up announcement to that for the specific guidelines if you are fully vaccinated and unvaccinated permitted travelers to the Philippines. They have actually removed the green list and yellow list countries. What they said, if your country of origin is not listed in the red list, then this is your protocol if you are fully vaccinated. This is your protocol if you are unvaccinated. So the labeling on the color coding right now does not exist. You can see it as we go through this travel update from Secretary Nograles. IATF updates testing and quarantine protocols. The Interagency Task Force or testing and quarantine protocols for arriving international passengers in all ports of entry in the Philippines coming from countries or territories or jurisdictions not classified as red list country or territory or jurisdiction. These new protocols shall take effect December 3 of 2021. So that is today. So to those travelers who are arriving in the Philippines December 3 and beyond, this will be your quarantine and testing protocols. Let's start with fully vaccinated permitted traveler. For fully vaccinated individuals, they shall be required to have a negative Rt-Pcr test conducted within 72 hours prior to departure from the country of origin. Upon arrival in the Philippines, they shall undergo facility-based quarantine with an Rt-Pcr test taken on the 5th day, with the date of arrival being the first day. Regardless of a negative result, they shall be required to undergo home quarantine up to the 14th day from the date of arrival. So meaning the 3 days quarantine no longer exists. Because before this new announcement, 3 days for fully vaccinated coming from the green and yellow list. But so far, they are not even labeling the color coding countries anymore. If you are fully vaccinated, this is your testing and quarantine protocols. As we read earlier, you need to have a negative RT-PCR test result prior to departure. And yes, the negative RT-PCR test is now mandatory if you have plans to travel to the Philippines and if you are one of those permitted travelers to enter the Philippines. So make sure that you have that negative RT-PCR test because you won't be allowed to board the aircraft, meaning your hotel booking will be 5 nights and 6 days. So fifth day is the swab test schedule. It will really depend how quick the results will be, but you won't be able to check out unless the result is in and it has to be negative. And then you will continue home quarantine up to the 14th day. The question to that is on the home quarantine, are the barangays or LGUs are going to strictly monitor you during your home quarantine? We'll never know. That really depends on the barangay and the LGU of your final destination. But for fully vaccinated, permitted travelers, your requirements will be a negative RT-PCR test 72 hours prior to departure. Your hotel booking is at least 5 nights and 6 days. Now, for unvaccinated permitted travelers to the Philippines, this is your new testing and quarantine protocols. In the case of individuals who are unvaccinated, partially vaccinated, or whose vaccination status cannot be independently validated, they shall be required a negative RT-PCR test conducted within 72 hours prior to departure from the country of origin. Upon arrival in the Philippines, they shall undergo facility-based quarantine with an RT-PCR test done on the 7th day, with the date of arrival being the first day. Regardless of a negative result, they shall be required to undergo home quarantine up to the 14th day from the date of arrival. So to those who are unvaccinated, partially vaccinated, you have gotten the first dose of a 2 doses COVID-19 vaccine. And also to those whose vaccination proof cannot be validated by the Bureau of Quarantine, this is your testing and quarantine protocol. Your hotel booking will be 7 nights and 8 days. Your swab test schedule will be on the 7th day. Then, when your negative RT-PCR test result comes in, you will continue home quarantine up to 14th day. Again, same with the fully vaccinated earlier. It will really depend on your barangay or your LGUs if they will strictly monitor you guys for home quarantine, because if they do, looks like barangays and LGUs has a lot of work to do with this new testing and quarantine protocols. But so far, if you are unvaccinated, partially vaccinated, and vaccination proof cannot be validated, your quarantine is 7 nights and 8 days. Scheduled swab test will be on the 7th day. I say 7 nights and 8 days because there are instances that the results of your swab test does not come in within the 24-hour window. So if you have just booked, for example, 6 nights, 7 days because you are confident that you will be swabbed on the 7th day, the problem with that is you will have to check out on the 7th day if that is just your booking. So it's really important that you put an extra day over there while waiting for the result. So to be safe, book at least 7 nights and 8 days, because for sure on the 8th day your negative swab test result should be in. Same as those who are fully vaccinated, 5 nights and 6 days. Always put an extra window in there because we don't know when your swab test results comes in. The Department of Transportation has been directed to ensure that airlines board only passengers who comply with the negative RT-PCR test result before travel requirements. So this is what I'm saying, that a negative RT-PCR test is now mandatory when you travel to the Philippines. Testing and quarantine protocols of minors, on the other hand, shall follow the testing and quarantine protocols of the parent or guardian traveling with them, regardless of the minor's vaccination status and country of origin. So if you are traveling with your kids, what will be followed is your testing and quarantine protocols. If you are fully vaccinated, then their swab test will be on the 5th day. If you're unvaccinated, then the swab test will be on the 7th day. For international passengers who have already arrived and are currently undergoing quarantine, they shall continue the testing and quarantine protocols in place at the time of their arrival. Meaning, if you have arrived in the Philippines before the implementation of these new protocols, you will follow the old protocol, which is the 3 days quarantine. If you are fully vaccinated with negative RT-PCR test result, then 5 days quarantine if you are fully vaccinated without the negative RT-PCR test result. The new protocol should not affect you guys if you have arrived in the Philippines prior to the new implementation of the new testing and quarantine protocols. So the rest of the announcement is for the red list. I will have a separate video on that, so it's not confusing with those travelers whose country of origin is not listed on the red list. We will have a separate video on what protocols will be followed to those travelers coming from the red list country. But so far, this is the latest testing and quarantine protocols to the Philippines for permitted traveler that is effective December 3 of 2021. They did not say for how long this will be, but it will start today, December 3. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and share this video with your friends and family. And if you have a question with regards to this video, or any concern or any inquiry with any travel related videos that we have in our channel, please comment it down below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Or you can direct message me in our Facebook page and Instagram, same handle, the Eaton Squad. And please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done that already, and hit that notification bell. That way you will be notified every time we have updates like this. And to our subscribers, thank you guys for always being there for us. And to those who have just subscribed, I welcome you all to our family, the Eaton Squad. I hope to see you guys on our next travel update. Stay safe, stay healthy, and God bless everyone. Bye.